Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castle and welcome to my shop. Well, I'm out back right now to get this series started. This is what we're going to call Woodturning 101. Now, I get a lot of emails and a lot of notes and cards from guys that say, what's the best grinder, what's the best grinding rig, how should I get started, what should I do, and stuff like that. Well, I got to thinking about it a while back. And I thought, what would be better than a basics course? Let's cover the whole thing. Let's look at lathes and jigs and chucks, and then grinders and jigs and tools and gizmos and everything associated. So before you open up that big hole in your shop called wood turning and start dumping money in it, you dump it in for the right reason and you get something in return. So it's called Woodturning 101. Chapter 1, Week 1, Day 1, Number 1 is going to be the number one item we need to do wood turning. Yep, we're talking lathe. Guess what you have to do right now? Okay, any guesses? All you got to do, watch. Now, because of restrictions on space inside my shop, even restrictions on space outside my shop, because now I got two canopies, a storage trail, hey, you collect toys, so that's what you get. But I've got a mini jet. Now, this is a container you get at Walmart. It's one of these storage boxes. I don't know the size of it, but you know, my wife tore the label off. Isn't that something? All right. But I made it to where it would fit over the top of my mini jet. And I want to show you a little bit about this lathe, because this one sleeps outside. And I use it a fair bit. Use a lot for freedom pens when we go on the road to do turnathons and stuff. But let me show you a little something about the basic lathe. This is a jet. WL1014. I think that means wood lathe, 10-inch throw, 14-inch length. They're very complex with their numbering. But this is about a 7-year-old model jet. Now, it has a 1/2 horsepower motor. It's a single speed motor. But it's got shivs or pulleys, and you can vary the speed. And that's easy to do. You open a door here to get to one. You open the door back here and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeds from 500 RPMs to 39.75. Or I'm calling hauling butt speeds. All lathes are essentially the same. You have a headstock, a bed, a tailstock, a tool rest. No magic here. In fact, this tool rest doesn't match the lathe because I gave the one for this to my best friend to do something and he misplaced it, so he had to give me back his. And then you don't want to know the whole story, okay? But that's what you have best friends for. On the headstock, speed, you need to be able to get down to about 500 RPMs. That's good sanding. Sanding fast burns up paper and wastes time and your efforts. So, number one, you want to have something with adjustable speeds. That little gizmo variable speed thing is really nice and cute. It's worth a couple $100, unless you can find it on eBay for a step up where one of my guys found it for $40. The motor control of the whole works. It's worth shopping eBay some days. But this has got 6 speeds. I can work with this. At $39.75, I can spin some pens really nice. And it takes 30 seconds to step it back down. And once you get used to it, it goes really quick. The next thing is right here. This is the lathe shaft. Very important. More than one reason. Say you go over to Big Lots and you find a lathe sitting on a counter for $39.95 and you think, boy, that's going to be a great deal. I'll buy that lathe, I'll go home and I'll make a bunch of things. Well, the one I found at Big Lots almost 20 years ago, this shaft, the thread, was something close to 3/4 21. Now you guys know a little bit about machining. That's not a real number, and they don't really make that, but for some reason they did. So the face plates, only one face plate. it was almost the number 2 taper, but their taper fit. And we had a couple other problems. So when you go looking, what you need to keep in mind is eventually you're going to want to add other things to this lathe. You're going to want to put a chuck on it. So this is a 1" by 8 thread. You can buy nuts to match that in the hardware store. So you can buy a Talon chuck or a one-way lightweight chuck that'll fit on this beautifully. Now you can buy the small chuck, and we're going to get more at the chucks later, and it'll work just fine. Comes 3 or 4 size jaws. Or you can buy the big one-way stronghold. Buy your good chuck, buy it one time, buy a replacement insert, never look back, and never shed a tear. And oh yeah, this machine will spin a one-way stronghold chuck. It's just inertia, boys and girls. It's just inertia. The only downfall is when you drop this on your toe, you hurt for a day. You drop the one-way stronghold on your toe, you hurt for a lot more than one day. Let's not get into why I know that. Alright, other part is you're going to need a drive center. If you buy a new one, you're going to get a faceplate and you're going to get a drive center. Faceplate's going to be just pig iron or steel, just like this. I drilled it for the set screw because it came without one. It'll have 4 holes. You want to make them larger because they're for like drywall screws, and we don't use drywall screws on lumber, right? Everybody nod their head. Yes, okay. We do not use drywall screws holding something onto the lathe. Wasn't a question, that's a statement, gang. Okay, but there's your faceplate. Now, when you want to start getting better, you're going to want to go to somebody like Don Pencil and buy an aluminum faceplate with these 8 holes in it. A little more versatile, a little more stable, really nice product. High end. I think you'll like it a whole lot better than you would the cast iron. Now, that's all on a headstock. Tailstock. A little screw back here locks the quill. You loosen this up, turn the knob, quill goes in and out. That's important. Don't get one where you can't adjust it easily and readily. This has got a self-backing out feature. Self-backing out feature means there's a dog back there. When I crank this down tight and turn the handle, my revolving center comes out. I've had a Woodfast and a couple of other models where about right now I got to get the hammer out and beat it out to get it out of there, or crank it back on them. Here's a tip for you. You got one that doesn't have that? Cut your piece of mild steel bar that'll fill this gap right here, and when you pull back, that mild steel bar will push that chuck out. And just put it on a magnet right here. See, always a magnet available when you need it. So that'll back it out. Now you've got a revolving tailstock. Most jet products now come with a revolving tailstock. The one you get is going to be much less expensive, much simpler. This one you can change the bullet nose to a fine nose, to a tip, to a recess, to a cone, put a soft touch on it. It spins with 3 bearings inside of it. It's a really sweet deal for about $109 out of most catalogs. It's made by One Way Corporation. This is a number 2. Number 2 here and a number 2 on the other end. If you get something strange that doesn't match up and you have to have adapters and all, you're just going to run into problems. So, as I'm saying, most great deals are not great deals. They're good, but not great. Okay. So, tailstock, headstock, there's got to be something in between. And in between, we have a tool rest. This is fairly simple. This is mild steel. It will mark easy. You see the scratches and striations on the top of it? It will mark easy, so if you haven't rounded off the bottom of your skew, you want to do so before you tear this up. This is a 6-inch. Most lathes come with a 6 or a 12. Avoid the 4s. They're toys. You don't need one. And then you have the tool rest. This has got one adjustment screw underneath that you can tighten up pretty much by finger, because then when you turn this, it locks it in place. There's no magic tool rest except it has to be fluid. It has to move without a lot of effort. You don't want to be fighting it, and safety's sake, When you first get started turning, you want to stop the lathe before you move your tool rest. Now, that's a mini jet. Very comparable will be a Delta Midi. There's Ricoh. There's some by Penn State. There's something by Kraft, I believe. There's a dozen people that flip this design, and they're all pretty good pieces of equipment. You're going to be amazed how many of them are interchangeable. But if you go to the department store or the discount store and you buy something with a weird thread size, weird adapters and weird things, you're going to want to find some weirdo you can give it to in a year or two after you get tired of throwing money at it. So first one you buy, and I know budget's a main consideration of all you guys, look for something you can continue to work with, continue to modify and grow with. This comes with a bed extension. It's sitting on the brand name Lathes. I moved it too low and I had a back problem, and I wish I could raise it a little bit. But I wasn't too smart. I cut the pipes off. Nothing a welder can't fix. Okay. I showed you a mini jet. Now, I got to explain something to you. Because I want to be honest with everybody on this matter. I don't turn on a mini jet every day. 7 days a week, over 40 hours a week, I turn on a one-way 2436. Now, before you think, why would I tell you about a mini? I got to tell you the story. My first lathe was a Delta classroom lathe I bought off the old Inspire school board system, and I had it for doing furniture lathes. Then I decided to get something a little lighter, and I got this bargain basement thing. That went away, and I bought a used Sears with a tube in the middle. Whew, avoid that if you can. But if it vibrates right now, I can tell you how to fix it. Then I stepped up to an iron bed lathe, an old Delta made 1946. I wasn't even a glimmer in my daddy's eye when this thing was made. Then I went to a Craftsman sled base lathe made in the 50s. And it had Dunlop brand on it. Remember that? Yeah. All right. Then I went to another lathe, and then another lathe, and then another lathe. I bought a Woodfast a couple of years ago. It worked great. And then I was fortunate enough to come upon an awesome deal on a one-way 2436. What I believe is the Mercedes-Benz of fine lathes. Let's not get into an argument with it. I love my machine. It was 10 years old when I got it. It's beautiful and I love it. You have to take what you can afford and use what you can afford. So if you can't afford a big lathe, learn how to turn on a little one. The purpose of this is to tell you what you need to watch for when you get that lathe. And I'd show you pictures of all the lathes, but it won't do you any good. Check Craigslist, eBay, contact your local wood turning club and tell them, I want to get into it and I need a lathe. Let's see who's got what and who's going to sell it for what. And you'll be shocked at how nice wood turners really are. They will do anything to help you, and I don't know a single one that'll take advantage of you, including that guy in Ohio with the bald head. Him. Yeah, but you know, he's all right. That's 101. Next time we get together, we're going to be talking about what goes onto that lathe. Chucks. Other accessories that go on the face of it. They're as important as the machine, because if you make one mistake, you normally make the other, and then you're going down that road of money in a hole. Don't want you to be there. I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you back real soon, because I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to start making some shavings. Take care now. If you wondered what happened just now, this is what happened. This is my Nia, a little skipper key. Yes, she's about a year old, and she hangs out with her big sister, who weighs 5 times more than her, a black lab, Clea. That's just now bumped the thing. That's what hits the tripod occasionally and upsets the picture. Now, we didn't really want this dog. We wanted a...